Chef Whitney Aronoff with Starseed Kitchen, and today I wanted to show you how I make my super crispy chicken thighs with my Magic 11 Starseed Kitchen Spice Mix. So it's a really simple recipe. This is what I make literally every week for myself and for my personal chef clients. So I use my Starseed 11 Magic Herbs and Spices that are all organic that I blend myself. I use Jadori Jadori thighs. So these are bone-in, skin-on thighs. I prefer Jadori because of how they raise the chicken. They're much smaller thighs. So you guys can see here, some of the thighs are really small. Some of the thighs are more medium. My clients and myself tend to like the smaller thighs. You can portion control better. I also find with the Jadori brand versus some other brands, there's not as much fat. So it's going to be, even though it's a dark meat, it's still going to be really lean, and it's the skin of the chicken that's going to create the crispiness. So we're not adding any oil here today. This is just really good quality chicken and really good quality spices. 11 organic herbs and spices. Your spices are superfoods. You don't need to go out buying all these different supplements that are superfoods when if you buy high quality organic dried spices, they're the concentrated fresh spice. And they're full of benefits for you. So that's what we're doing today. The chicken thighs here are a great snack. It's a great entree. Also, you can make a bunch for meal prep, and when they're done, you can just easily slice the meat off the bone and throw it in a salad. So really, there's endless ways for you guys to enjoy. And what I'm going to show you is exactly how I prep this for my clients and myself at home. So this is what you need. I'm doing 10 chicken thighs today. You can do as many or a smaller batch as you want. I always use paper towels. I like to get the moisture off the chicken so that way the spice sticks better and then we get a more crispy result. You need a baking sheet. You need a piece of parchment because we don't want our food ever touching the baking sheet because baking sheets have aluminum in them. And we don't want aluminum in our bodies. So you always use parchment in between, never aluminum foil, again, because we don't want aluminum in our bodies. So we're using parchment. I prefer a unbleached, chemical-free parchment. And I buy the already cut baking sheets just to make life easier. And then this is optional. If you guys have a cooling rack, I love to cook my thighs on top of a cooling rack. That means any residual fat is going to drip off the chicken, and it's literally going to leave you just with super crispy, beautifully browned chicken. I always kind of consider chicken thighs to clients that have never had them before as kind of like chicken wings. Like if you love all that crispiness on a chicken wing, but you're always sad because it's only 2 or 3 bites, you should try chicken thighs. Because you're gonna get crispy skin, you're gonna get juicy meat. It's gonna be super satisfying, and a lot of people forget that the dark meat is the part of the chicken that worked the hardest. So there's gonna be a bigger transfer of energy there. So when we look at eating food, it's really just about a transfer of energy. And when we think about a chicken breast, think about the breast on your body and how much does that breast actually work and move. Versus a chicken thigh, you can think about your own thigh and how strong they are, how they carry you, how much they move, how much they support you in a workout, how they support you in a run, in a jog, lifting weights. So the thigh works a lot harder on a chicken. So it's going to be a larger transfer of energy to you. So you'll notice when you eat chicken thighs, you definitely get more energy. As someone who actually wasn't a big chicken eater until I went to culinary school and was introduced to the transfer of energy versus the different parts of the animal's body and high quality protein, high quality chicken, it kind of changed my life. And I've been a big fan of the flavor and the quality and how I feel after I eat chicken thighs ever since. So I think that's enough talk. Let's get started. So I like to pat my chicken thighs and get them nice and dry. I just don't want all that extra moisture on there because I really want to make sure that my spice mix sticks really, really well to the skin. And then I like to toss my chicken thighs in a bag. You don't have to use the Ziploc bag. If you get your chicken from a butcher shop, they'll put it in a plastic bag. You can use that. If you don't want to use plastic at all, that's completely fine. You can use a mixing bowl. I just find that a bag does do a better job of getting an all-over finish. So you can buy a biodegradable, there's some biodegradable corn-made plastic bags. You can go ahead and try those as well. But I'm just going to put half of my chicken here in the bag. So I purchased 10 chicken thighs, and so I'm going to put 5 in the bag to start. And then I'm going to put, for 5 chicken thighs, I like to do 2 tablespoons of spice because I like my food, my chicken thighs, overly spiced. You can start with 1 tablespoon and see how you like it, but I always do 2 tablespoons for 5. And feel free to make it generous. You don't have to go light at all. You can see how doing and tossing the chicken in the bag really helps to get on every little piece of the chicken. And you can see there ends up being no residual spice in there. It gets on everything. So super easy, makes cleanup really easy too. All right, we're gonna do it again. Got a few more here. Looks like I bought 12 thighs instead of 10. Oh well, more for me. So that means I'm gonna go ahead and do 3 tablespoons because there's 7 in here. So then we toss it up. There we go. So what I do, and actually I do put thought into where I put the chicken thighs on the tray. I want to find the largest chicken thighs, the ones that are the biggest of the bunch, and I want to put them on all the outer corners because the way food cooks on a baking sheet in the oven is everything along the edges is going to get cooked more. So it's going to get more brown. So if you're doing vegetables, you always want to find like the largest Brussels sprouts or the largest cauliflower and put that on the ends, and then everything that's smaller on the inside. So that way something doesn't overcook. So doing that same philosophy with the chicken, putting all my largest chicken pieces on the corners, and then I'll put the smaller pieces in the middle. And again, I double check the skin. I want to make sure the skin gets all nice and crispy. So I just adjust it in case it's fallen off in some weird way. And it's amazing how many pieces you can stick on here. See, look at that. We could have even purchased more chicken thighs and gotten them all on here. So I'm good to go. Everything's still nicely spaced out, which means it's going to get a lot of hot air circulating around it, which also helps in increasing the crispiness of the product. The more hot air that can circulate without things being crowded, you're going to get a crispier result. But I'm just going to go ahead and put these in the oven at 400 degrees. Convection setting if you have it. If you don't have convection setting, then you can leave it at 400 and just cook it a few minutes longer. But I always do the chicken thighs for 35 minutes, 400 degrees convection, and that's that. Super simple. So this recipe is on my blog, Starseed Kitchen. I also do this recipe with lots of different other spices and marinades, different combinations. So feel free to give it a try. I'd love for you to try it with my 11 magic herbs and spices, but you can also try this recipe with any spice mix that you have at home that you really, really love. So thank you so much for listening and watching, and you can see the results on my blog, Starseed Kitchen. Thanks so much, guys.